All right, we are making a video about hurricanes and buying property with them in mind, considering we do have a potential tropical storm brewing in the state of Florida named Hurricane Dexter, like the show, right? She used to love that show.
I did like to use
Yes. So we're going to do a video. I'm going to ask her a couple of questions on hurricanes and what you should look out for when you're buying and under contract on a property and there is a tropical storm or hurricane on the way to the state of Florida. I'm Christina, this is Sabina. We are a mother-daughter real estate team here in the Emerald Coast 30A Destin area. So if you have any questions about real estate, the area, anything, feel free to contact us at the information provided and make sure you subscribe for more videos.
So remember that hurricane season is from July until November, sometimes goes in the middle of December. But these tips that we're going to discuss kind of apply to even all year round when you're purchasing any property in the state of Florida.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and ask her the first question. And the first one that I have for her is, can I still bind homeowners or flood insurance during an active storm?
Well, no, you cannot. So once a storm is named, all insurance companies will shut down and will not issue any insurance policy. So that was a big problem during Michael, for example. Buyers were under contract in Destin, Florida. The storm was named. It was supposed to hit Santa Rosa Beach, but it only hit Mexico Beach. No damage was done. But once it was named, nobody could bind insurance, and people had to wait 2 weeks for FEMA to declare this area not an emergency before they could get insurance and close on their homes.
Yeah, and I think that on top of that, it's important just to kind of say that there's a difference between regular homeowner insurance and flood insurance, and you're not required to get flood insurance if you're in flood zone X here in the Panhandle, but if you're in any other flood zone, you are required to get it. But a lot of people still get it for peace of mind. So that's two different insurance policies you would want to make sure are binding in when you're under contract.
That's a really good point,
Yes.
Christina. We always advise our buyers to get flood insurance, even if you are in a flood zone X, because remember, rising water is covered by flood zone X, which does happen during hurricane. But if you don't get it and you only have a hurricane insurance, then only if your roof gets off and you have water damage that you're covered. And a lot of people, when they're hit, there's a hurricane and they don't have flood insurance, and that can be really troublesome.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. And so I'm going to also be asking my next question here, which is what happens to my contract if a hurricane damages the property before closing? So let's say we do have a storm roll in and there's some roof and wind damage from the storm and you're under contract. What happens?
There's actually a clause in the contract that protects buyers and sellers. And if there was damage that was done, then buyers and sellers can go back and renegotiate. Either the buyer could back out or the seller could agree to repair any damages, and it's all back and negotiable.
Awesome. That is great. And so you are a little bit protected as a buyer there if there is a storm, which is good news. Number 3, my question is, should sellers disclose past hurricane or flood damage even if repairs are made, and are they required to disclose that?
Yeah, they are required by law. I mean, you have to always disclose to if there is flooding or damage that was done during a hurricane. You always are required to disclose that if it affects the property value.
Yeah, and so let's say there is a storm, rolling into my next question, do timelines get affected if you're supposed to close August 30th and, there's damage to the property, you still have to close August 30th?
There's a protection in the contract that you can delay it. And most lenders, if financing is involved, will also require certain re-inspection. So yes, there are protection in the contract to delay closing.
And then my last question here is, what should buyers look for in a home to feel confident in that it is ready for a storm, as far as maybe what the windows they get or what roof they have on the property?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Christina. So, obviously newer homes, they are built at higher elevation. They usually have impact glass, a newer roof or a new roof, and they are much more sturdier during a storm. Older homes, that have older roofs and maybe have no impact glass where you have to put shutters off, they are at higher risk for damages during storms. So that is one thing to always consider. And also the flood zone and the elevation of the home also has a big impact.
Yeah. 100%. There's a lot of things you can look for to protect yourself when storms come when choosing a property here, I would say.
Yeah, and lastly, and I think, Christina, I'm going to let you answer that too, you know, what can people do to protect their home from upcoming storms? So what can you do now to kind of walk around your home and pay attention to make sure that if there is a storm, you minimize the damages from potential wind?
Well, I mean, if you don't have hurricane impact windows, then you definitely want to get the protectors that go over your windows during the hurricane. And you'll see them on some of the houses. They have little pinpoints around the windows where people can put up shutters to protect their home. So if you don't have the hurricane impact and you don't know, then you can definitely get that figured out. A lot of the time it will say it on the window, or you can have someone come over and inspect the window and see if they're hurricane proof or not. Another thing is if there is a storm coming, remove all your furniture from outside so it's not flying around and hitting different things and damaging them. So getting all of your furniture inside, and then just monitoring regular maintenance, making sure there's no leaks, keeping all of that up is just all things you can do to make sure your home's ready. What do you have? Anything else?
Yeah, I think the only other thing is if you are owning an investment property here, have somebody that you can call to put up the hurricane shutters for you, because sometimes that's difficult to find somebody last minute.
Yeah.
And also, you know, walk around your house and look for any loose limbs and trees that maybe need to be cut and pruned in the springtime.
Yeah.
So because trees is what's flying around and potentially can cause damage.
Yeah, and like she mentioned, you know, finding someone to put those up. There are a couple of different companies here that help you monitor your second home if this isn't a rental property and the rental company is not doing it because it's just a second home. There are some companies here that actually help maintain your second home when you're not here, that you can hire. And so that's another thing to keep in mind too.
And the last thing, maybe there are a lot of great Facebook and local website that will alert you of any weather alarm and what to do. And I follow them all the time when there is this warning of a storm, and those are really good sources to have.
Yes.
Maybe you can post a couple.
Yeah, I can. I'll put them in the description below. Well, thank you guys so much for watching another video. Stay safe in hurricane season here. And if you have any questions about hurricane season or 30A Emerald Coast, anything in general, again, comment below or contact us at the information provided, and we will see you in the next video.
Until the next time, auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss
and goodbye.